I will only wear a sports bra that's not a Swijin sports bra in a state of utter emergency, which would be a natural disaster that like washes away my Swijin bra or a theft.
Welcome to Gear Talk. I'm Chip.
I'm Chris.
This is Annie.
And I'm Brooke.
This is episode 197 of the show. The gang's back together to talk about Swijin gear. Now, this is a ladies-only brand. And if you want to learn more about this, we interviewed the co-founder on episode 180 of the show. But before we get to Swijin, how are you guys doing?
Oh, so good.
That's good.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, so glad to be here, gang.
I'm glad to have you.
It's been a while.
As usual.
Yeah.
Anybody doing any cool gear stuff or new gear stuff, Chipper?
Yes. Well, we went to Attilo, the Swimrun World Championship, as you may have heard in our race report. Just a little race over in Sweden.
Oh my goodness.
Making it sound like a humble brag.
Now, that was a humble brag. I'm sorry, everybody. It was about a month ago. Can you believe it was a month ago? Anyway, ARC was there with all their wares, and I couldn't resist. I bought the thermal kangaroo top. Mostly out of curiosity and because I feel like I have slimmed down that Chris and I can share. I can stretch it to its max limit and Chris can just wear it normally. So we can quote unquote, test one size top. Have not tested it yet, but excited to. And I will say, Chris, you can back me up on this. The hand feel on this thing and the quality, this thing is a premium piece.
I would say my first impressions.
Very curious.
You know, it seems like it's a very intentional
piece of kit.
Like they really thought through. I was like, oh, thermal's going to be super hot, but it actually has panels in the right places, has venting in the right places. It's a really interesting application of like a thermal approach to a kangaroo top, I thought.
What's the material?
Is the material, yeah.
So it's still neoprene, but it's I mean, there's some. Is it even neoprene? It's not. It's like it's like the foam material on the inside, but it's just thicker. And then some of the panels are similar to the regular kangaroo tops, like under the armpits and sort of, in your rib area.
Side gussets.
Mm-hmm. And then it has a zipper in the front, which is interesting. And then it has two kangaroo pockets on each side of the zipper, which seems like honestly a much easier way to keep things organized than the normal kangaroo top, where everything just kind of sloshes around and kind of descends right to the middle and the bottom, it seems. But yeah, I thought it was like, oh, this thing's just going to be super hot. But I could see, honestly, what I think is like a perfect combination would be a relatively normal swimrun weather waist where you can wear the VIG with the thermal kangaroo top and get away with it. Get away with a race like that, no problem.
Right. You could have like a modular system that would suit many, many situations.
Yeah, you can stay super thin on the coverage, but have a little bit more oomph underneath.
Yeah. What about any like chafing issues with the zipper? Oh, I guess like no more than.
No, they had a good placard.
It has like a flap layer.
There's a flap layer there, and then it definitely from like keeping you warm perspective. Obviously, if you're worried about being overly cold, you would pair it with a more thermal suit. So obviously, you're using an ARC. That's going to be the Orno X. I think you would be pretty warm in this thing if you wore both of those.
Yeah, but it's not just trying to. It's not just going for ultimate warmth. It's not going to
sweat you to death. Yeah.
It's like warmth plus utility, which is just that's the way they think. That's the way Daniel Sand kind of like comes up with his designs and stuff. But yeah, it's a pretty cool piece of kit. Sure.
Cool. I look forward to hearing more. And that brings me to my next gear update. Oh. My first gear update. Our next gear update is I wore the VIG in the fall in some really cold water, the VIG Air, and it was really cold.
Yeah.
Too cold.
Wow. Breaking news, everybody.
Shocker.
It was too cold. And I learned that that's a summer suit unless you have the thermal top, which could be a game changer. And I like cold swims, but I don't think I like cold swim runs. And if you want a cold swim run, wear your VIG in the fall in Washington.
Yeah. What was the water temp roughly?
Oh, I think it was in the probably low 50s. mid 50s. It's not even that cold, but I got cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we've worn it below 59, maybe.
Yeah. Well, actually, that Folsom race that I did, I wore the Vig Air at that one. It was chilly. Mm-hmm. But also, I think it's good, Annie, and this is something I've been thinking about doing, is like really understanding where your limits are on what is a cold, like how cold can you actually take and how warm, because I feel like I'm over-indexing and I'm like, maybe I should push it more on the cold side and see what happens. So maybe on some next swim.
That's kind of why I did it. And it was like, I think the air temp and the water temp were both about 55. It was overcast and windy, and that was too cold. But now I have a data point that's more specific than, I don't know if I'm
that has me thinking. Can I ask you guys just like a random tangent training question?
That's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if it does make sense in training to optimize trying to be cold to kind of get hardened, but also just that's when it's super hot. I feel like that's easier to kind of deal with, unless it's like crazy hot, than when it's really cold. So I wonder if in training it just makes sense to over-index on maybe wearing less gear, so you are being exposed to, colder swims and stuff.
I think it does, because we know our systems are adaptable in that direction, and I agree with you. The implications of getting too cold are much more severe in a race than getting too hot. It's a lot easier to deal with getting too hot. So I think, train it.
They're adaptable with like enough frequency, though. You have to kind of put yourself at that exposure at least a couple times a week to like maintain adaptations.
Oh, so this is why we love having the Swimrun Labs on. Look at the knowledge they're bringing to the game here. This is well beyond Chris and I's means, or mine especially. I will say, using the Folsom race as a data point, I feel like I'm going to start adjusting my wetsuit choice based on air temperature and not necessarily water temperature.
That makes more difference than you'd think, because you swing your arms around in that air. And like that, I got really cold on my runs on that swim run that I took my Big Air on. Is that why you say that? I'm just assuming.
Well, I think because the warmer air, I know if I leave my cap on, I can bring my body temperature up pretty quickly and really feel hot and feel like I have good temperature in my body. Versus, yes, I'll be cold during the swims, but I'm not going to like turn into an ice cube on like a 500-meter swim or whatever. I know I'll be able to warm up once I get out of the water. Obviously, you kind of have to understand the course and how much swimming there's going to be. But I think a warmer air temp can bring you back more, but maybe you don't want to be doing that to your body too often. But all things to learn about yourself, I suppose.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
Yeah.
I think going between like cold water and warmer air temp would be another form of hardening. Not just like adapting your body to cold water, but adapting your body to those like extreme fluctuations in temperature. You can train your autonomic nervous system to be more adaptable to that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's basically what the World Champs was. It was like cold water and
it was
sunny conditions. Yeah,
I think the water temp was
60,
about the same
58.
as the air temp.
You know, it would be a really interesting study to see like people who are adapted to that and those who aren't, and like how much calories they burn and how much more energy they have to take in, because you use a lot of energy regulating temperature.
So I was on YouTube late one night and I came across this Andy Blow from Precision Fuel and Hydration. And he did a nutrition plan for, what is that? Seven
Tour de Stables.
Yes. It's a
race across the Sahara, stage race.
Yeah, like 7 marathons in a row. And he had some really crazy stats about how much more energy you expel or when it's so hot. And I just was getting my mind blown. I forgot all the value from it. But I remember being really like, oh, I should pay attention to this. So I'll go back and dig that out.
But yes, confirming what you're saying.
Do you remember thinking this is really relevant to me? I better not forget it.
It's like,
I'm with you, Chip. I get it.
So I remember thinking, wow, this is cool. Cool info that Andy Blow is dropping on us right now. Should bring it to the show in some way, shape, or form. And it's reared its head now. Probably 4 months, 5 months later.
It has. Chipper, do you want to talk about our tether evolution?
Yes, we have. Well, Chris,
evolution.
I knew you
Yeah.
were going to say that.
Or is
I
it
waited so that you would
revolution?
get to say that.
Revolution, maybe. So
Evolution.
yeah, we've been using the same tether gauge thickness of shock cord and the same clips since like Catalina. So 3 years now.
Pre-pandemic.
Pandemic era tether. And how many hours of swim running have we logged in between then, Chris? Can't even uncalculable.
Let me guess.
I don't know the answer, so.
Oh, okay.
But we feel like we as our we've sort of equalized our swimming and our running abilities have normalized a little bit, and we don't feel that we need the big heavyweight tether anymore. So we put it on a little bit of a slim fast.
Yeah. So I think like another way to articulate that is like, I think we've evolved past
the toe needing
the use. We've evolved past the need of the tether as like a haptic feedback device, and thinking that we've been thinking for Austin that we're going to carry a tether, but we're going to try to race without a tether, where we're sort of evolved no tether, only on swims, to tethering all the time, and that got us through this phase. And now we're moving to the next phase, which is carry the tether in case someone is, is hurting, and when it's needed, but otherwise race without it, even on the swims. So we're going to try that in Austin, and with that, we've Chipper, which is like classic. For some reason, after Attila, we're sitting in some coffee shop, and all of a sudden, all these tethers start coming out that Andy Hewitt had, and Chipper and Andy are having this whole like, oh, let's do this with the tether, do that. And I think that was like the second time that day that tethers came up.
It was very tether intensive day.
Chipper took it upon himself to evolve our tethers, and now we have like a pretty thin one that's essentially just for
an 1/18 of an inch,
like if needed kind of thing, which I'll carry.
So is the thin, did you go down, because if needed, you said you'll need it if someone gets tired, so you actually will need it for like towing capacity. Does the thin one still like do that? Did you go down in size just to like
we're
have
gonna
more?
test it. We're gonna test it, but we think it's like, even if the drop off, as long as the drop off isn't like crazy severe and someone just needs someone's like dead weight back there in the back,
someone's just like
I think we'll be all right.
Letting you like pull
going straight cinder block. Chris is cinder blocking on me back there. What's going on? But so we have the thinnest one is 1/18 of an inch, which is 1.5 millimeters. Very thin. And then we have I believe a 4 millimeter one. So what is that, like a quarter? Maybe 1/18 of an inch is 2.
1/18 of an inch is very scanty. That's like a dental
it's
floss.
pretty scanty.
Yeah. Do you want to? You have show it to him.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up on the internet.
But yeah, it looks like.
Oh, it's
I think
almost like
that's
a
what we
shoelace.
Yeah, it's like a shoelace. And then we
have these like fancy.
These other clips are very marine. They're marine clips. They're called sister clips, and they hook into each other, and it's like a system. So YouTube video coming shortly from the Low Tide Boys on this, but we're testing out and evolving our tether.
Looks super
strategy.
sleek. I'm curious of its functionality.
Yeah,
and I'm really curious.
Report back.
Like, I'm really curious if I'm curious to hear how the swims go.
Mm-hmm.
I think going tetherless would have like a psychological effect on me.
I think so too.
Positive or negative?
It sounds so terrifying. Negative.
Big time negative.
Yeah. Well, honestly, a lot of our trainings in the lead up to our race, we were doing it we're tetherless, and it wasn't a problem. Like Chipper wasn't getting away from. I mean, he had to lead the swims, but that's fine because I don't mind.
Maybe you guys now are like, you've been racing so long together, you're like cosmically tethered.
Well, I think that's
already
definitely
been happening. That's
the
been like 10 years in the making.
Definitely
tether is already attached, permanently attached at this point.
This thing actually, exactly that used to happen when I did a lot of adventure racing. And if I had been racing for like hours and days being tethered to somebody, when the tether would come off, if I was like doing another thing with that person, like it happened with biking a lot. Like I'd be tethered to their bike, and then I would be like biking behind someone and I would have this feeling of like they'd get a certain distance away and I would just like automatically
Surge
be
or something.
surge.
Yeah.
And it was like the tether was there. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The cosmic
it's a
tether
thing.
is a thing.
Phantom tether.
It's a
The
thing.
phantom tether.
Phantom tether.
You guys have evolved. Your tevolution is to phantom phase.
Come on now.
Phantom phase.
That was good.
We have to put that
Wow.
on a t-shirt.
This is, yeah.
But yeah, so
Congrats.
that's a lot of stuff that's happening. We're excited about our last race of the year, the last Odyssey race ever before they transition to their new name, Attila USA or USA Series, whatever it's going to be called. But let's talk about Swijin. As we mentioned on the show before, Claudia Glass, co-founder, we had her on episode 180. That was a super cool conversation.
Great episode.
Talk about like, seems kind of random. Obviously, it's a swim run piece of kit, but the way she started the company, all the work around sustainability, and yeah, it's just she's just doing, even like calling, you know, some Shinto temple in Japan to make sure that she wasn't culturally misappropriating the use of
the name.
I mean, she's awesome. So, but this time we're going to actually talk about the gear. But Chipper and I haven't worn it because they don't make stuff for guys yet. So Annie and Brooke, you guys have been testing these. Annie, I know you've been involved for a while,
Very
right?
early adopter and influencer.
Definitely. Yeah. Swijin was kind enough to send Brooke and I the bra, the brief, and the biker short, which is the complete collection that they've released. So we've gotten to test that for the last few months. I've actually gotten to test it for the whole summer. But yeah.
I wear it like all the time.
I wear it every day. But I want to go
Spoiler.
back to how spoiler. Yeah. You know how we feel.
Sorry.
But the way that I got involved with the company was really, really special. And it was years ago. It was also pre-pandemic. I think it was pre-pandemic or early pandemic. And it was like this Zoom call. And I just had these people reach out, Claudia and her co-founder, Laura. And they were like, we understand you love swim run. We understand that you are connected to female swim runners. And we love swim run too, and we want to create a product for you and your fellow athletes. Can we talk to you? And so we like set up this Zoom call, and it felt just like we were meant to meet each other. And they had this idea, and I had a lot of enthusiasm about it. And then I got to be part of the development process, which was super cool.
That's
and
awesome.
Kind of got to get a lens into their R&D, which was very extensive, and they used all kinds of technology that I didn't even know existed for textiles, and research and testing and beta groups, and just like talked to female swim runners all over the world. And it was a very cool process to be a part of. And then now we get to experience the product, which we should talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, from Claudia's perspective, I think, you know, that interview, again, episode 180, like echoes everything you're saying, just like the intentionality, the attention to detail, just everything just being like,
the company is so
great.
Intentional. It's like every little thing that you could think of has been thought of, and
Yes.
they want, and what I felt came through super clear in the development process that I got to be involved in was just like, they wanted, when they brought this to the community, they wanted it to be like a long list of things. They wanted it to be so many things, and they wanted it to be the things that we needed and that we asked for. And I think it's very successful. So the things that I feel like I need and ask for in my breast supporting undergarment for swim run are, number one, breast support. Like the baselines are breast support, comfort, no chafing. Like chafing is a huge one. And then sort of the cherry on top things that I ask for from a swim run piece of kit are pockets, because it's part of your base layer under your wetsuit. The sort of quick drying of the material is important. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of it on my list.
Not the sexy look?
No, that wasn't even on my list.
What?
That's
like almost one of my like needs instead of one.
So
right there with you, bro.
Swijin has elevated the bar. I have never thought to put sexy on my list of needs in a sports bra, but now that one exists that I do believe is sexy and I feel super sexy in, I'm like, yeah, there's no need for any sports bra to not be sexy from
That's
here
why I
on
like
out.
the
That's
Vig,
worth an
because I
extra-
think I look sexy in it, you know?
The Vig?
Yeah.
I think I look sexy in the
You look
Vig.
great in
Yeah.
it, Chris.
Thank you.
Another spoiler alert, I feel like my feelings for the Swijin kit is like yours for the Vig. It's going to be
Wow.
tough to steer me off
Yeah.
my enthusiasm here.
I love it. I love it. So you guys got to try it. Again, we can talk about how awesome Claudia and Sojin, the company, is all day, but let's tell people what it's like to wear it. You know, maybe Brooke, like out of the box, what were your first impressions when you pulled it out, when you put it on? Go us through the
My
whole
first
thing.
impression when I pulled it out was, oh shit, it's tiny. Because it was really small. I was like, there's no way this thing is going to fit me. Like, I totally ordered the wrong size. And Claudia had said, like, one of the sizes, I think in the briefs it was, runs large. So she said to order like a size down. And I was like, okay. So I ordered an extra small and I was like, this feels weird, but I'm going to try it. And the brief came out and it was super, super tiny. And I was like, that's it. I got to return it and wait again for it to be delivered to me. But it fits. And I think, and it also, that same size, right, Annie, fits
It's
you.
me. Yeah.
And we're very different sizes. And we both feel very comfortable. I mean, we love them. Like,
So the tech behind this is that the fabric basically conforms to the body of the person wearing it. And it's pretty cool. Like, and this is also similar to the Vig. If your first impression with this garment is, this is too small for me, stick with it. Put it on, wear it, shower in it, wear it swimming. You like basically get it wet, then dry it, get it wet, then dry it, wear it, and it will find your body shape. It's magical. Like I don't get it. It's voodoo science.
It is. It's kind of like those little, do you remember those
Swiss
little
engineered.
like pills that you would get as a kid that you put in the bathtub and they blow up into like dinosaur sponges?
Yeah, like
Yes.
seahorses and
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like
Oh.
you get the little pill out of the package and you're like, there's no way this is going to work. And then you get it wet and you're like, it
It's
totally looks
activated.
great on me.
Yeah.
But apart from the size, the material, and Annie, I know you can speak to like all this tech more than I can. I'm just kind of coming at it from a pure end user experience. The material is kind of like the shorts on the Vig.
Yeah.
Would you say
Okay.
that's true?
just a very advanced weave
No.
with multiple degrees of flexibility and stuff.
and really
naive-
thin.
Naive guy question incoming. Is that what's a normal sports bra? Is this
Super
just like
thick.
so different from a regular sports bra that you're like, wow, this is something totally new
Absolutely.
and different. Okay.
This feels
is
like
like-
lingerie almost.
But not
like
delicate.
Sporty lingerie.
But not
delicate.
Sporty
More?
lingerie. I mean,
okay.
it's not like silky, but it
Yeah.
does it feels so super fine. Like it's not bulky. And I think the difference is that it's not bulky and a normal sports bra is really bulky. Yeah.
And it doesn't feel delicate though, like lingerie, you know, like that you have to really put it on daintily, or even like the Vig.
And then support wise, typically it's like it needs to be thicker to provide more support. This kind of changes that entire paradigm where it's like, did you guys feel, I mean, so I'm told, did you guys feel like even though it was thin, it provided the level of, you know, sort of support that you'd want from a sports bra?
I did. And I will say that I don't have very large breasts when I am not pregnant or breastfeeding. And I did actually wear the prototype. I sent them my measurements kind of as they changed over the years. And I wore one prototype when I had larger breasts. And throughout, I felt like it supported really well. And I had kind of took a deep dive when I got to talk to one of the designers about how you create support in a sports bra. And it turns out that engineers have never really actually applied themselves to the science of how to provide support in a garment for breasts doing sporty things. And the concept that you just named, Chris, of like the thicker the better, like the tighter the better, is kind of what all the sports bra market has applied to creating sports bras, but it's actually this like
it's not
balance.
like evidence-based.
No, and like they did this engineering where they figured out that the balance of support has to be like from the top and the bottom. There has to be like a kind of a compression at the top and a compression at the bottom. Anyway, I can't say it.
Wow.
I don't know. I didn't even get it. It was over my head, but it was such a refined concept beyond the tighter, the better. And so it doesn't actually feel tight. Like it is super supportive when I exercise, and I also can wear it all day and be comfortable. Like I can put it on in the morning knowing I'll go for a run at 11 a.m. and wear it from 6 to 11 a.m. and not be uncomfortable, which is atypical for a sports bra.
Yeah.
Especially and also atypical of a wet sports bra. Like I'll put it on because I do a morning swim with my friends out in the sea, and then I go immediately to tap dance class. And there's like very little transition time.
Immediately.
Just
like my
just
legs
like,
or my
like
feet
that.
are
You're just
still
like trying to staring across the beach to the studio. It's like right there.
yeah. I mean, I probably should just swim to class, but my feet are still cold.
honey.
They have to
Hello,
get like
baby.
warmed up from the tapping, you know? And this has saved my transition time by like 5 minutes, because I go swimming in this sports bra with my wetsuit over it. And I also wear the briefs too. And then by the time I get out, have my tea, chat with my friends, jump in the car and go to tap class, it's dry. Like it's insane how fast this dries.
I feel like our enthusiasm is going off the hook here. I want to go back to the fabric because I do know something about the fabric and why it dries so fast. It's amazing. It's 2 layers and it's 2 layers of different fabric. So the inner layer is a layer of fabric that wicks moisture away from your body. So you feel like the fabric against your skin is dry. And then the outer layer is a hydrophobic layer. So basically like, it repels it. So it's sort of this like 2-part process that like sucks the water away from your body and then gets rid of it. It's it's super magical.
Sounds good. So
I'm
we
sold.
talked about up
But wait,
top.
also back to like the tighter, thinner, thicker is better. I will say, so when I first put on the sports bra, I was like, Annie, this is the wrong size. I have major side boob, because I was like coming out the, armpit boob. I was like, this isn't going to work. And then it like after maybe 4 or 5 wears, it went away and then it fit me perfectly. So it is,
there is a break.
It's like an evolution. Yeah.
Yeah. Molds to your body.
Wow.
What other questions do you guys have?
Well, okay. So
I mean, this is just I'm a marvel of technology.
So we're talking about up top. Let's talk about downstairs.
Yeah.
They got the
Let's talk about
biker
the
short
brief. Yeah.
and the brief.
Comfort, fit, chafe.
The top and the
Modesty.
brief work together great as a high-waisted bikini. Like I think the cut is flattering. I think in the future they're going to come out with a more of a bikini cut, so it's not as high-waisted if you want that option. But I think the cut is super flattering. It's super comfortable. I wanted to test its ability to be like a swimsuit.
Yeah, it looks just like a swimsuit.
Yeah,
like you could just okay.
Exactly. So I've worn it as my sort of swimsuit for doing like summer swimming, not workout swimming, but like social swimming, like swimming with my kid. It's the best for swimming with my kid because, like you can't, when you're the parent, you can't like change your own clothes after the swim. You have to focus on the kid. True. And I don't have to change my own clothes. That's
real
a little aside.
right there.
But it's really great to not have to just be like, oh, I'm wearing this under my clothes and I'm dry. But for like a pool swim workout, I wore it for pool swim, the bikini bottoms and the top, and I didn't have any sense of like billowing or fluttering or like the fabric wasn't fitting tightly. Like it felt like a legit pool swim workout experience. I didn't want to like degrade it by bringing it into the chlorine a bunch. So
how about like fit under a wetsuit?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Any soggy diaper syndrome in there?
What's that?
They need like soggy diaper syndrome, where...
No, not at all. Sorry. Like, how we always talk about like, oh, this sweatsuit feels like a second skin. Like not compared to this literally just feels like a tiny thin extra layer of skin all over your body. Wow. Like you don't even notice it. Like it really feels like as if I wasn't wearing, it'd be the same if I wasn't wearing it. And also back to like the different fit, like I wear it too. I also wear it like a swimsuit, Annie. And I mean, I wear it all the time. Like you said, I wear it running. I wear it like a swimsuit. Remember Annie and I went camping and hiking. We wore it hiking and then we could go right into the water and go right out of the water and continue hiking. And
did you guys wear it to the Beyonce concert?
Basically. Would have if it had been silver sequined. But
If
If it was silver
bedazzled,
sequin.
did they not have a bedazzled one?
Yeah.
Not yet.
not
Okay.
yet.
Claudia's
if you're
on it.
listening.
But
Silver
I get
sequins.
so many people, so many of my swim friends are like, "Whoa, what swimsuit is that? Where'd you get that?" I get so many people asking about it. Like they've
Sexy.
more than any other swim run gear I've ever worn, or any other actually swimsuit I've ever worn for that matter.
Wow.
Like
You tell me you got it in Switzerland?
Yeah.
Use promo code Brooke.
Promo code I know Brooke. No.
Any I know sometimes with the brief there's a concern of cheek leak.
Oh,
Is
well
there
said.
any cheek leak situation happening on the running or swimming, or is that not of a concern of yours?
No cheek leak.
No. Well, I'm thinking cheek leak is like it's riding up.
It's
Yeah,
like a
like
wedgie.
Wedgie.
Like you
yeah.
get a wedgie, I guess.
No, it doesn't move.
It doesn't
It
move.
stays like perfectly put.
It
And it doesn't even
encapsulates-
have those little, it doesn't
grippers?
have that little plasticky gripper.
Grippers.
It doesn't have
There's
that.
no cheat. It's all in the fit. It's amazing.
This is like wizard.
Perfectly
wizardry.
encapsulates your butt cheeks.
I mean, so I'm just going to put a TSA or just going to put it out there. Everyone, this is not sponsored content. You're
It's
listening
not.
at home. I'm just realizing this
Like,
sounds
I
like
have-
this sounds like
This is a little
sponsored
bit-
content, but it's not.
Nobody's
We
paying
swear.
us.
No,
I
and
swear.
you guys, I like to go into all these things very skeptical. I really do. And I do have a criticism, so I will save that for later. But it's not a full criticism. It's like
I mean,
We'll
what
have
can you
to
say
edit
right
it
now?
Okay, well, so I've been wearing this thing like nonstop since I got it, and it's no holes, it still fits perfect. It still does everything that I want it to do. But I don't know, Annie, if you have this with yours, like now that it's like worn, when it's dry, the edges kind of have like a ripple effect. You know, like kind of when you have old underwear or something, or like an old bra, and it kind of gets like wavy around like the elastic
Is that
part.
when it's hanging or when you're wearing it?
Not when I'm wearing it. It's when it's off me. It's when it's
I think
like
that's
hanging.
because I think that's the cosmic body conforming technology.
It didn't have that. It didn't have that initially. Like this is evolved, but this is what I want to say. Like that, I looked at that and I was like, like is it wearing and tearing? Like is it gonna, not be as good of a
get
fit?
all saggy,
Get all loose and saggy, and even with that ripple effect, which it's had for like at least 3 weeks now, it still fits perfectly. So it's a criticism, but I don't know of what. Like
Can I ask you
it
a
doesn't look
question?
as good. It doesn't look as good when I
Hanging
like
up
pick
in
it
the
up
closet.
by my fingertips and like ogle it for a second.
Well, I have a question. I have no idea if this makes any sense, but could that potentially be like now that it's broken in for your body?
Oh,
That's
like
just
my
like-
just my
Yeah,
contours.
it's just like those
Yeah.
are just like your contours when you're not wearing it, and then when you put it on, it just kind of stretches
Yeah, it's
to
just
wherever it
waiting
needs
for
to be.
you to.
I mean, I would
Pop
say
in.
that's probably true if like my body was like ripply.
But your body's it's 3-dimensional.
Yeah,
No,
but
it
I think
stretches
what
to
you're
your.
saying. I think I agree with what you're saying. I think that's probably it. Like it's now meant to look good on your body, not a hanger.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
All right, so we talked about the brief.
Bike
Now, what
shorts.
about the short?
Yeah,
The bike
shorts
short.
are a little trickier for me to love so blindly as the rest of it.
Me
The bike
too.
shorts,
Well, first of all, are they bike shorts?
yeah,
I'm not a big
shorts.
biker. I'm not a big biker, so I
they're
don't
not
know.
for bicycles. They are not for bicycles.
I think
They're like
it's just
a
the
bike
cut.
style cut.
Oh,
It's like
yeah,
a short,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like a short.
No pad, no like cycling pad.
No,
in there.
no.
Okay.
It's
No.
the same material as all the other stuff, and
It's just a short.
yeah.
just a short, yeah.
If this was lingerie, they'd be called boy
Boy
was it
shorts.
Boy shorts.
Boy shorts, yeah,
Yeah.
probably something like
totally. And I feel like they're a more complicated garment. They have more seams. I felt like I couldn't figure out if I was supposed to wear undies underneath them or not. I know I'm not, but it kind of had this feeling that my vaginal tissues were interacting with the seams in a way that
Oh, really?
that-
Even with their special seam construction that doesn't it doesn't cross vag tissue?
I know. I don't understand it. But here's the thing. I put them on and I ran around in them and I was like, ooh, I don't know about this. It was concerning. And then I committed to it and nothing bad happened and I totally got used to it. So I think it just feels a little different than what I'm used to running in. But what was awesome about the shorties were I could wear the bra and the shorties, just those two things, and do a swim run. And they are flattering enough that I could run around in like neighborhoods in my town and feel modest, but presentable and supported and covered. But I felt completely free. Like I would get out of the water and my body would dry and the clothes I was wearing would dry. And I would just feel like I was doing a naked swim run, which is a really good feeling.
Which should be a thing.
Well, if you close your eyes,
now.
It is now.
Yeah, I have to admit that I haven't worn the shorts nearly as much as I have worn the briefs. Maybe it's because I thought they were biker shorts and I'm not a biker, but no, I knew they're not like the biker shorts, but it's interesting because the waistband on the shorts is like double layered, like it's like folded over. And I don't know, Annie, if it's that same technology as the sports bra that you were talking about, but that's not what's on the briefs. Like the briefs is all just like one nice single.
It's more briefy.
Yeah, single layer. This has like a like a double layered waistband.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a hefty construction, but I still wouldn't call it bulky.
No, not at all. No. And the thing with the briefs or the biker shorts for me that I don't really like about these kinds of shorts in general is like I hate it when they're like kind of like a blood pressure cuff around my thigh.
Yeah.
You know, like they get really tight around the thigh, which is great because it keeps them in place. But I don't know. I just don't like
How many times did you wear them?
Like 3.
I think it's a similar thing. Like I had that at first where it had the little like kind of squeezing your leg too tight. And then after that, it was good. And they miraculously didn't ride up when I ran. Like,
okay.
It kind of, they fly against all my assumptions about running in some pretty short bike
things
shorts.
Clearly like defy physics is
now.
Weird.
Yeah. And can we talk about something else that defies physics that I think is really important is the seams. Sure. Like, Annie, do you know what these are? What's going on here?
Yeah. There's
what's technology is being applied to the seams?
Like what is happening?
So there's a
like Lindt chocolates.
Lindt chocolates, like tempered at a certain temperature.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it is.
The Lindors, the little balls.
So the seams are glued. They're not sewn. And they're glued. And then there's a third type of fabric which creates the tape over the glue. And then the glue is also designed to break in and kind of become more flexible as you wear the garment. So these things really get better the more you wear them.
It's like you have to like hold them up like 5 inches from your nose to like see that there's a seam.
It's pretty artful.
Wow.
Like it's really seamless, which is what they say, but obviously there's seams. But I just don't understand how it can be so durable like this.
I think that's the magic science voodoo that all of the super smart
Swiss technology
engineers figured out. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
I mean, I'm sold already, but we always orient these reviews around swim performance, run performance. So let's maybe take it back there. How do you rate the Swijin? Swijin? Do you want to say it a system? You can provide commentary on the top or the bottom, whatever, on the swim performance, either as swimming in the pool, open water swimming, or swim run under a wetsuit.
Well, for swim, this is like my go-to base layer. Like I don't wear anything else under my wetsuit anymore. Like even just for like swim run and then just for open water swimming in general with like all of my wetsuits. So
we forgot to say it has a pocket. Did we say that?
Oh.
Yeah, you said it.
Okay.
But talk about it when Brooke's done.
Will do.
Yeah, so for swimming it's great. I mean, it's like you don't feel it at all.
It sounds like you two are wearing this thing on like 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
And the other thing is it doesn't
We're wearing it right now.
It doesn't smell bad. That's another
I didn't even think
thing.
about that. That's a good call.
It would. Anything else would that I would wear as much. The pocket is pretty big. Like when I run, I can put my cell phone in it and some snacks, and it doesn't bounce, which is amazing. I don't know how. Like,
And have you tried putting paddles in it?
yeah, they barely fit, but
Yeah.
they fit well enough to not fall out.
But you definitely can't put any Mondo paddles in it.
Oh,
We're
no.
talking about our cheapy plastic, amazing paddles. But
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're like, 6'8" WNBA player wearing the extra large. Maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's
Make
enough
it
Yeah.
fit some arc.
But definitely
Paddles
enough
in
room
there.
for like a water bottle, gels, goggles, cell phone, running cell phone.
Compared
for swim run
to,
stuff.
I know you've used some of the other swim run specific sports bras on the market. In terms of storage, is it equal to that? Less, more?
A little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say more space and also like more, it hugs the content closer. So like the other swim run sports bra that I have is the new Lapa bra, and that's a netting, over the top. And so the netting kind of stretches to conform to whatever it is that you're putting in there. But I feel like it's a little loose, like it, it stretches so much that when you're running with stuff in it, it kind of jostles around. Whereas this just kind of like suctions it to your bosom.
That's not jostling.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think part of the secret sauce for that is it's a pretty high neck. It's a high neckline. The cut of the bra is like higher than most, which I think could be a minor complaint for some, depending on the neckline of the shirt you would want to wear over it. If you were just wearing it as a bra, like it's high enough that it kind of sticks out of some lower cut shirts. But I think that also helps it be so form fitting, have that like special support from above, however that works. And it also
has
makes a big pocket.
2 straps though. It has like a regular bra, and then there's another strap that kind of goes over, so I could see why it seems like it would really have great
it's like a holdering
support.
system.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 layers I think that Annie was talking about. Like the bottom one is like the wicking layer, and then the top one's like the repelling layer. And then the bra also has like little drain holes, like 2 tiny little drainage holes for out of the pocket. Although I don't honestly think I don't know that I'm curious if you even need them, because I don't feel any water getting in there.
Maybe it's part of going back to the swim performance. So in the swimming in the pool, like maybe it's part of just draining that water kind of so it flushes as you swim instead of catching it all in the pocket.
They're pretty tiny though, but yeah. But
good performance in the pool, though I wouldn't make it my main pool suit just because I like the feel of a pool suit. And it's a little bit different than that.
Plus, you probably don't want exposing.
I don't
those
want to
fabrics.
screw it.
chlorine,
Yeah.
I've actually not worn it in the pool because of that. I want to keep it forever.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap, so I want to make sure that I don't.
Yeah, they're not cheap. The bra retails for $139
US.
US. The biker shorts $79 and the briefs $69. Also, I just checked sizes, and they don't have a lot of sizes left. So the word's already out. So we're sort of late to the game here. I'm sure they'll be restocking soon. But do we even need to do pool buoy rankings for this?
We have to go to run performance.
Run performance is primo. It's my go-to bra for runs. I mean, it's like a piece of swim run kit, but it's my go-to bra for every sport. Like I have gotten rid of every other sports bra I own, which meant that I had one bra for a while. Well, I actually had 2 because I had an extra one because in a case of emergency, which would be like someone stole my Swijin bra, I'd have to wear another bra. So I kept it just in case. But I literally gave all my other sports bras I donated them. And
Wow, that's a big endorsement.
Wow.
because I just realized I never wear them and I never want to. So let's have
Yeah,
other people
that's
wear
a good
them.
call. I'm sitting here with the biker short right now because the bra and the brief are in the laundry because I wear them all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's a good call. Like, you're right. I always go to this in my drawer. Like,
And
if I have my selection of sports bras, I always go to
The
this
first one you grab, huh?
Yeah.
So it's great for
That's all you
running.
need right
It's
there.
I don't even feel like it's there. And it does not stay wet. Like when you sweat on a run and then you stand around for like any more than 4 or 5 minutes, you feel your like cold, damp, sodden sports bra. And this really
And your
eliminates that feeling.
Damp boobies. Yeah. That's a horrible, like clammy boobies.
So it's great. Yeah, you don't even feel like you're wearing a sports bra when you're running.
And then are you wearing the bottoms under your swimrun wetsuit if you're doing that, or are you still going with the Sunday edition?
Sunday edition. I actually wore them. I did try under a swimrun wetsuit, and it was the big air when I was unsure of whether I'd be doing Happy Baby in public or not in the big air.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just because, yeah. Anyway, I was feeling self-conscious, and I learned on that day that I don't think swimrun wetsuits need undies underneath.
I still wear it. I wear undies.
Have you tried these
I don't
under
do Sunday.
on a swimrun?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is what.
And
I
they
wear
work well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The briefs.
Yeah, I think I had after 3 hours, I had a little bit of chafing, but I think I probably didn't lube as usual. So
I didn't lube at all because I rarely lube, which is probably not a good idea. But I didn't have any chafing. It was perfect, and these were like the extra small briefs, which I never been an extra small, so it was shocking.
Yeah.
Can I make a guess at how they made their name, and then we can maybe wrap it up? But you guys know how they got their name because I didn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, we know.
So I think Swi is like Swiss, and then Jin is like Jin in Arabic means genie, and I think it's like Swiss magic.
Ooh.
Wow.
I like
that's
that.
a good guess.
I think that's an appropriate alternate reading of the name. Because it is.
I don't recall what the origin story was on the name. Chris?
Yeah, so it's named after a Shinto god.
Of water.
Yeah,
sort of
Shinjin,
water.
And then they changed it to Swijin.
Oh.
As a nod to Sweden as the birthplace
Sweden.
of
Yes.
swimrun, and I think Switzerland probably is
Yes.
part of their team.
And
Wow.
if you're thinking that they're culturally misappropriating
They
something,
got clearance,
they
right?
got clearance from a Shinto priest in Japan.
And I don't know if
gotta
any
mean
other
something.
companies do this, but I haven't seen any other company do this. If you go to their website and you go to each of the garments, there's a tab called transparency.
Yes,
And
unparalleled.
they show where absolutely everything was sourced from and how much what the carbon footprint is and how much you're saving on different gases, greenhouse gases being emitted. It's pretty involved. It's
They
awesome.
even have the label is from Norway. The packaging is from Switzerland. They tell you everything, like what Brooke was saying. It's really
Oh, and by the
impressive
way,
levels
they'll
of-
fix it for free if it gets screwed
They'll
up.
fix it and so that's another part of like this top dollar, I don't know why I said that, top level, like intentionality. Is there like, if you need a new one, send it back to us and we'll fix it, and then we'll send it back to you, which is like the least impactful.
closed loop system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Cycle,
cool.
Whatever.
So I kind of just want to ask what I just previously just had. Do we even need to do pool boy rankings
I mean,
for this?
I feel like this is
Let's
like
do a game. Let's do a
The
game.
judges come in at 10.
You guys can guess our Bull Buoy ratings.
Yeah.
Fives.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 5s across the board for everything.
Ding, ding, ding. How did you know?
5.
I mean, you guys have been smitten from when we turned the mics on with these things.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think everyone who's listening to this is like, if you're a female or you're someone who knows a female who would, find value in this product, go get some.
Yeah, even if they're not a swim runner.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, it sounds like
just a
running,
runner or a swimmer.
swimming, any exercise
or a,
stuff.
or a tap dancer.
Maybe
Tap
if you're
dancers
just
can
super
benefit from this
sweaty,
product.
like if you live in some super hot, humid place and you're sweating all the time.
Or you just want a really cute black bikini.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think.
Any other further comments?
Annie?
I feel like I need to share the last thing and emphasize something you may have missed earlier, which is that I will only wear a sports bra that's not a Swijin sports bra in a state of utter emergency, which would be a natural disaster that like washes away my Swijin bra, or a theft.
Like what happened to your Phelps goggles?
Yep. Hopefully that never happens to my Swijin bra.
No, that would be.
We just had an
scenario
earthquake here,
that would need
so
to
let's
transpire
not
for that to
call
happen,
that.
so it's well, ladies, thank you so much. I learned a lot. I want to get it.
I think I'm going to buy this for my wife.
Oh,
Yeah, same.
this is what I was looking
You
for.
guys should try buying it for yourselves and see how the briefs and biker shorts fit. I mean, we
Sure.
always have to buy a lot of male products and just fit them to our bodies. You should just try it.
My flat ass wouldn't fit in that thing, though. That's the problem.
It would. It'll conform to your flat ass.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, cool.
And that's what Swijin. It'll conform to your flat ass.
No. They can do so
That's the
much
stinger.
better.
That's leading the clip. That's leading the episode out right there.
Wow, that went downhill quick.
Guys, wait, don't go.
Annie,
don't
save
go.
us.
I almost
Save
forgot.
us, Annie.
I have a promo opportunity to offer to listeners. Use the code Annie Swijin, ANNIESWIJIN, to get a free pair of biker shorts when you buy a bra.
Whoa.
Brooke, you got anything to one up that discount code?
Well, no, I don't think. I think we should really reiterate that there is no Brooke discount codes. People don't get confused.
You're like, I want Brooke to get some love here. Oh, it's not working.
Sorry, it's not working. Oh no. Okay, Annie Swijin, ANNIESWIJIN.
Yeah, let's.
Free biker short with purchase of bra.
Yep.
That is
that's
a good
$79
deal.
value.
That is a good deal.
Your boobs and
Big
your
save.
booty will thank you for using Annie Swijin.
Even if it's flat like chippers.
Yeah.
I think that's it. That was the mic drop.
Yeah,
That was
That's
it.
it. That's
even
it.
if it's flat like chippers.
Okay. Everyone knows about my flat ass.
You
now.
told
You're
us.
the one who told
I
us.
guess
this.
I
You
told the
offered
internet.
that information.
I told the internet. That's it for this week's episode. Thanks so much for listening to the show. Make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and leave a rating or review, since that's the best way to help other people discover the show and the sport of swim run.
Check out our website, lowtideboys.com. That's boys with a Z, for swimrun resources, including gear guides, tips, how-to videos, and so much more. Make sure to check out our meme page at The Low Tide Boys on Instagram. If you have any questions or suggestions for the show, send us a DM or email us at lowtideboys@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Riding Easy Records for our show music, and of course our wives for their support and tolerance of our swim run and other activities.
Lots of activities.
Lots of activities.
Finally, you can support our efforts on Patreon. Until next time, get out there and go for a swim.
Then a run,
And then a swim,
then another run,
then another swim.
then run some more.
Just keep going.
Let's go.
And then stop at some point because,
And fuel. Don't forget to fuel.
Gotta fuel
Of
too.
course, yes.